My name is Eric Lealeman, and I'm 28 years old, and I love to play fighting games. I first started playing fighting games when I was 6-7 years old in Puerto Rico. My cousin had brought over his copy of Street Fighter 2 for Super Nintendo. What I liked most about Street Fighter 2 was the variety of characters that the game brought. You had a samurai-looking character and a Russian wrestler and the all-American hero. There's a lot of different ethnic backgrounds represented in the game, and I like that. I enjoyed playing with other people to see who is the best among us. I like to see who was the best among my friends. The FGC when I was younger was just hangouts at the arcade machines, or like I stated, hanging outs at the house on the Super Nintendo or the Sega Genesis. Now in today's time, you have this huge organizations carrying out these wide, huge tournaments. There's more players nowadays, I believe, because you have access to the internet, and there's so much different types of media out there, so it's a bigger view. I think the FGC is in a great spot right now because, like I mentioned before, before it used to just be at the arcades and at a movie theater or a pizza shop. And it would just be like a couple of guys playing, or you'd be at home with your friends playing Super Nintendo or the Sega Genesis. But now you have this huge media where you can play online against other players. You have all these tournaments that are lining up. Everyone is traveling from across the world to compete against other people. And you have now the big esports thing is growing. So now you have this entire tournament series referred to as, like, Street Fighter, for example, is like the Capcom Cup. And you have all these players from around the world, Japan, United States, Europe, and they're all playing to compete to be the best. I would say my favorite fighting games are both Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat because they are the two I first played when I was a kid. I first played Street Fighter 2, and that was my beginning, and then the game after that was Mortal Kombat 1 on Super Nintendo. I played them both on Super Nintendo, and I love the character designs in both games and how much they have evolved from the time in the Super Nintendo to now. My favorite memory in the fighting game community would have to be CEO 2010 when I defeated Alex Jabali. That was Alex Jabali's first time losing to a unknown name, basically. I was the unknown name, and it caused a huge stir. And I had my gaming group behind me, and it was an awesome time, and I will never forget that moment. To those that aren't in the FGC, I welcome them to come out to an event, to come out to a tournament, just to see what it's like. You don't have to play, you just spectate the event and see how awesome it is to see it live. It's just like seeing a magic show or seeing a sport event live. I mean, it's an amazing thing, and you just gotta give it a shot.